to help with the transition, to start those conversations? What else?
So right now we're meeting with, and there's a lot of things going on at once. So we're meeting with the park district, we're meeting with our architect, we're meeting with our construction manager, we're meeting with the movers. Now we're shifting toward our teachers. So we're having discussion with our teachers. We're starting the preparation of the assignment with the teachers. The teachers are coming up with the questions that they're concerned most about. At the same extent, we know teachers care about kids, right? Teachers are starting to think about what the kids are going to ask. They're thinking about activities that we can put in place. They're thinking about dates that we can organize for the following year, which has spurred us to have the calendar committee meet. Now the calendar committee is having discussions on what the calendar should look like and what days should be off. And should we have an organizational day where the parents come in and they can actually have discussions on what their class looks like on Teacher Institute Day, which is different from what we did in the past, because teachers or parents aren't typically in there when the students are, but we're thinking more of it as a visitation day. Then we're thinking about discussions with STEP as well as with the PTA and how they can celebrate this transition. Then we're thinking about traffic pattern days when we can have traffic patterns where parents can have practice runs at the schools, and we can work with the Norris Police Department. We haven't gotten there, we're just talking about it. As well as many other things. So we're starting the progress. It's going to gain a lot of momentum. It's going to fly fast and furious, but I can tell you we're thinking about and transitioning through a very systematic process. But I want to say it's a very strategic plan because we've got to make sure all our T's are crossed, I's are dotted, and we're minding our P's and Q's.
And it sounds like you've done a tremendous amount of work between the buildings and the movers and all of that, but I haven't heard you say that we've approached the kids and asked them how they feel about this and what they think they're going to need to help with this transition, and coming at it as a standpoint of that they're the ones who really are going to make or break this transition for us. It seems to me like they're the ones that have kind of gotten pushed aside, and that we need to start targeting them and talking to them, because I know there's conversations going on out there, and I know that there's shirt designs have already been made about what they're going to wear on their first day of school, and as of right now it is not a good thing. And we have to, as much as we need to include all of these auxiliaries, it's the kids that we have got to start focusing on.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions for buildings and grounds?
Sorry, that was so not buildings and grounds related. I'm sorry.
No, it's all right. No, it's all right.
It's good.
It's fine.
Part of the river there.
Is the buildings and grounds, are you guys gonna be part of like with the whole traffic? Okay, I mean, like right now it's 10-minute staggered start times. Are those set in stone, the start times and end times?
Yeah.
Can you go over those again, just so I can, so like.
Yeah, you got to put me on the spot.
Sorry.
So we have the high school starts at 8 and ends at 3. Our elementaries are, just to be clear, the middle school will 8:10 and end, I believe, at 2:55. The elementary will start at 8:20 and end at 3:05. And that was on a presentation that's posted online.
Can people try driving it like before this to see if it's feasible?
I drove it 3 or 4 times, and it took me about 2 minutes. I sat in the traffic circle,
So you're able to get it.
so I was able to do it pretty quickly. But again, and this is how I put it in context. And our reports are very clear. School at the District 80 starts at what time? 8:15. I have parents that have told me that school starts at 8:20. And that's okay. I understand. Parents are going to drop their kids off when they can drop their kids off, and we respect that. Our truancy reports support that, because when you look at the kids that are on time, there's a massive number of kids that are truant every day. And I sit at my window and I watch it. And don't tell me anyone at this table is not guilty of that, because you are. And so we are going to respect the parents. We know that they have many things going on in their life. We know that the parent today is different from the parent of yesteryear. And when I say that, if you need time to drop off your child, we will understand. We're not going to lock kids out of school. We're going to open the door and we're going to let them in. Because we know you have a busy life. We know you have to be at work. And as I've said before, there's going to be lumps in the oatmeal. There's going to be lumps in the oatmeal. We're going to smooth it out. and we're going to try and make it as smooth as possible as time progresses. So we haven't sat down, the buildings ground has not sat down and talked about the traffic pattern. Remember, the Board of Education does not do traffic patterns. We don't do that. Superintendent doesn't do traffic patterns. I don't do that. I will work with the village officials, which, from my understanding, we've done that year over year. They're wonderful human beings, and they're going to help us to present some ideas. They're going to help us to present some ideas. So hopefully that helps.
Thank you. Any other questions for buildings and grounds? Great. Academic advisement for student excellence, nothing to report. Negotiations. Finance.
Is there going to be, you said the budget was going to be in May, is the tentative budget then prior to that, or is that going to be your tentative budget?
We're just going to have it prepared and the board can review. More specifically, the finance committee can meet, have the first official meeting, and they can discuss. And Dr. Schilling would love to be a part of that. He's already expressed his
and then with the
his
community
need to
members
participate.
as well? Or
Absolutely. That would be the goal. That'd be the goal. And right now we're in the process of posting for the communications committee to extend for the community members as well. We've been a little slow. We've been pushed back because of FOIAs, really. But we've been a little slow. We've been working on FOIAs. And so we're working on posting it by the end of this week, Friday. So we should have it done prior to the spring break. And we'll send out an all-call. We'll treat it exactly like we treated all the other committees. So I'm glad you brought that up.
If I can just say something, you probably would want to start and bring in your extended members of your team and just give them the expectation of how you foresee these meetings to go and kind of guide them in what their input would be. That you can have that initial meeting and before you know what your budget is. But I think you should bring them in because I think a few of them have questioned, you know, hey, I was called, I was added to the team, but we haven't met yet. So I think that'd be a great opportunity even within the next couple of weeks, schedule and invite your extended team members in and just give them your expectations of how you see the committee moving forward. I know you won't be a part of that committee, but you could at least let them know that, Warner
Yeah,
will
I'll
be
let them know.
Just let us know, and we'll help you out. Sarah and I will help you out.
Any other questions for finance? Buildings and grounds. I'm sorry. Norwich Park District.
Warner and I are going to get some dates together so we can get them over to the Park District so we can have a combined meeting with Mark DeSalvo and his team and us and Dr. O'Malley. So we'll get that as soon as we can.
Questions? Thank you. Communications.
So we, at the last meeting, we presented a discussion we had, and so this is more of a follow-up of Dr. O'Malley. We had a discussion, a recommendation was made to speak with the mayor to perhaps have some town hall meetings and in lieu of the referendum and see some events would be combined where between school and maybe participating in some of those town hall meetings or any type of meetings that could help facilitate and spread the good knowledge of the referendum.
Yeah.
For having one.
Well, I talked to the mayor, and I'm just going to share with you. You may not like what I say, but I'm going to say it.
The best way to say it.
And I've heard this several times, not only from the mayor, from other individuals who, as I start to reflect on their presentation. The mayor was very encouraging, very positive, and one of the things he said is, Dr. O'Malley, everybody's heard from you. You've been at meeting after meeting. They've heard from you. We need to hear from board members. People want to hear from the board members. And I reflect, as I reflect back, there was a meeting with, and as a matter of fact, Jack's here, with Jack, Warner, and it was with Jennifer. He said the same thing. They need to hear from the board members. And so I'm just sharing this because my position is I can only do so much, but at the same extent, we're a team. We work together. And so I know you guys have to spend a lot of time on a lot of the things that we put in place, and I know that. I know I use the phrase intestinal fortitude quite a bit, but I'm going to use it again. You have a lot of intestinal fortitude to put on the forefront the things you have. Most people would put it under the carpet and move on. And so I think we have to talk about how can we as a board work with the superintendent where I could put a presentation together and the board members can present. Because I think that's something we need to do. I think that we either do it in this setting, because if it's 2 or more, we would have to post. We could do a less informal setting, or we could do it where maybe it's a board member and myself, but nevertheless, they need to hear from the board. They need to hear it.
I thought though we weren't allowed to present on the referendum.
Well, that's the, you cannot take a position on the referendum because you can present facts. You could present facts. And so the key is as long as you're staying within the context of the facts, then you're not taking the position. And that's the fine line that you run. That's the fine line you run, right? And we've been in the midst of one of our board members being accused of crossing that line. And so I understand the fine line that you guys basically try on a regular basis. And so, I'm respectful as a superintendent. I've been out, I've been spreading the word, I've been talking to quite a few people, talking about great things we're doing and all the benefits. And I've been talking about the programs. Really, it's the programs that are going to be enhanced. The grade centers are going to enhance our programs. They're going to be a chance for our teachers to meet. They're going to be able to collaborate. We're on film regularly, so people know the information. People could say that's not the best piece of information, but I know for a fact a lot of people will review this after it's done. And it's free. And so, it may not be the answer you want, but it's an answer nonetheless. And we can look at as we're progressing into April, having more and more of the presentations, and that's in the phase-in plan too. So if you look at the phase-in plan, the architect has it where we're going to go out to the community and we're going to go over all the facts, present the diagrams, and present the transitions.
So what you're saying is that you think that the board, somebody needs to step up and create a, what's the word I'm looking for? Presentation, thank you. And then have 1 or 2 board members be there with you as well.
Absolutely. And I would not expect the board members to create it. We'll create it. I'll create it. You can review it on however you want to create it. And I'll be more than happy to be present. We'll be more than happy to set it up. Sarah can help out. And we'd make sure, and if there's a concern with whether or not we're crossing the line, what we could do is we could just have our attorney review just to make sure we're in compliance. And we've done that before. So if you go back and you look at my presentation, I got everything on there, but it's all fact-based. As long as you speak the fact and you're not taking a position or encouraging a position, which we would never do, then you're in compliance with the law. Does that help, Cindy?
How soon do you think you would be able to, that's why I was asking if you wanted help with this, because early voting has already started. I mean,
That's correct. Yeah, I know.
We are behind the 8 ball, and if we don't get out there soon and do something, it's never going to happen.
Yeah. I would leave it up. What are your suggestions? If people have suggestions, I'd be more than happy to help out.
Well, perhaps the first thing we need to do is to set up a time among ourselves during the weekend. As weekends if it's possible, and really sit down and discuss the slides that are going to be, since you have everything, you should not be kind of assemble the slides and work through that presentation.
Right.
I mean, that's the next step. I mean, we've got 2 more weeks before the actual 3 weeks, whatever it is, before the actual big voting starts. So we're really short on time, and we need to be pronto. We need to get to that. We need to cross that goal line. We need to be pronto.
I'm sorry. Oh. I talk louder.
Yeah.
Use you.
What?
Use your outside voice.
I don't have one.
Outside voice.
So how long realistically would it take for, I mean, I don't want to be putting more things on your plate because I know it's full already, but knowing that the election is soon, and if we want to plan something, I mean, and as the communication committee, I mean, you and I have spoken, that we're here to help, we're here to do whatever needs to be done to get the message out there, but
yeah, it's a tough situation.